And hello, movie lovers, and welcome to the show. Tonight, I have a very special guest with me. I have Tamika with me. I have Pick the Flick podcast with me. We're here to talk about Penguin Episode 5, Homecoming. So let's go ahead. Let's dive into Homecoming. And hey guys, welcome to the show.
Hey.
Hey. So some of our predictions happened and some of them didn't happen. My predictions didn't happen, so I'm batting 0. So everything's in the. But still, I just have to say, I really enjoyed seeing. I'm glad that this show is not predictable, to the point where I'm actually, where I'm basically putting everything together to where on a mafia kind of level, and it's not going the way that I wanted to. So I'm actually happy with that. What about for you guys, though? I know Pick a Flick. I know that you had a couple of predictions that happened in this as well.
Well, I said that Johnny Vitti is gonna go down. I think you said by episode 6 or 7 the last time we discussed this.
Yeah.
Well, we're on episode 5. You saw what happened, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. As long as you know. But this was a good episode, man. It was
Yes,
good
this
to
was
see
a solid
Sofia,
episode.
right, pick up, and Oz is definitely starting to break.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, it's been a pretty good show. At first I wasn't watching it, and John nudged me a little bit more. And then I had to take a break from wrestling and then watch it. And I was like, oh, okay. So I get it now. I'm in.
You see, that's all it took. It took one little push, and I got you into watching the Penguin.
Yeah,
See?
yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it was like pushing me off the ledge in the Jersey River.
Right?
And then I came up and said, Penguin.
So, after escaping the nightclub, Oz and Victor burned the car in the street. While Victor is worried that Sofia might take retaliation, Oz is not too worried about it and appreciates Victor's rescue. What I like about this scene is like, okay, kid, I'm happy. You saved me. We got, and he goes, look, Oz, I'm sorry about your car. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about the car. It'll be fine. And then after that, they torch it. They go on ahead. They leave. But I love the chemistry between him and Victor. Him and Victor have the best chemistry on the screen to me. And I love it when you have all of Penguin's goons that shows up. And he's like, hey, what about your car? Man, don't worry about it. I'll be all right and everything. Let's just go. Let's just get out of here. But I thought the opening scene of them picking it up right where we left off at the episode before this was really good. What do you guys think?
Yeah, the opening sequence was actually very good. I felt a bit sad for the car, though. The purple Rainmobile is gone. It was a beautiful vehicle. It looked very pretty, and just to see it get blown up like that, it was sad. But yeah, picking up from the last episode, it's nice to see Oz and Vic continue with their report. I'm very interested to see whether Rex Calabrese has got the Oz keeps bringing up. Has probably a closer relation to him than we probably know, because he's probably the only person that I think that he thinks positively that I've heard mentioned throughout the show. It's like, something's going on there. Are related or something? This is a good opener otherwise.
Yeah, definitely is.
Yeah,
for you, Tamika.
It was a beautiful car. It did have a bullet hole in it, so it was going down in the beginning. But I mean, it was wonderful. I love the car. But yeah, I don't know. It's like it seems like the car is just doomed to just fail, doomed to be destroyed. Like bullet hole, you ran into a guy, and then you get caught on fire. But then, I mean, he can buy another car, sort of.
Exactly.
If he gets his mushroom business going, he can buy like 4 cars.
Just like the hooker told him, he goes, "Look, baby, this is just temporary. You know, once you got back on top and everything, it's gonna be fine. But I don't want you right now. I have some thinking to do." So, so he's in the friend zone right now, temporarily. But I just thought it was really interesting on how he has everything lined up. How Oz winds up finding himself getting out of trouble every single time that you turn around, right?
Wow.
And he's like, okay, so I got this other thing mapped out to the point where I'll get Sofia's family because she's the bigger fish to fry, and then after that, I'll go after the Maronis. But I love how he looks at the TV and everything too. He goes, wait, Sofia did me a favor by killing everybody inside the house, so therefore I don't have to worry about that anymore. I just got to focus on the Maronis. And I like how he goes back over to the Maronis, over into the jail cell. And, and then I like whenever you have the mob boss there, and then you also have, of course, his wife. It's just like, well, you can't trust him. He's sneaky. And he goes, well, he's like, well, let's just see what happens,
See what happens.
Like, he's trying to give him a look. Like, he knows that he's sneaky. He knows that but he wants to see what Oz is going to do first before he acts on anything.
Right.
But also, too, you actually have the gang war with Oz and his henchmen kidnap Taj, the son of the Ronis, then forces Salvatore and Nadia to make an exchange. He will return Taj. If Nadia returns the mushroom shipment she took from Oz, Sal and Nadia reluctantly agreed to his terms. On his way out of prison, Oz sees a news report detailing a gas leak that killed nearly everyone at the Falcone estate, with Sofia among the few survivors at the estate. Sofia is questioned by the police chief over the events and Johnny Beatty's whereabouts, but she deflects the question. Beatty is revealed to be held hostage underneath the Falcone family cemetery, with Sofia torturing him to gain access to Falcone's stash of money. And, I thought Beatty was going to be one of those characters that's going to be like a concierge to her. And instead, she's just using him as a pawn just to get what she wants. And it works out perfectly for her. And then I like also, too, how the police captain comes over there and asking Sofia questions, too. She goes, so you just came randomly over here just to check up on us? So are you here for money? What's the deal with you? Because it's not like a police chief is going to come over here or a captain is going to come over here and ask questions. So I definitely like how she plays that narrative of the fact that she's calling the police out on their own BS and everything too. So I definitely like that aspect of that. She's a tough woman. She knows when something's going down, and I really love and also too, I just like the dominance of Sofia. I just love her as a character.
Yeah, I like her as maybe she's a villain. I'm not sure yet. In my book, she's not. She's just an anti-hero. But it seems like she is one of like the best villains I've seen on screen, because her time in Arkham has helped her to understand the human psyche more than all of these mobsters. Like, they're in their egos and everything else, and like just her breaking down this drug in the last episode and how she took this drug and the purpose of it. And then she was laying out like, Gotham's been flooded and then people are looking for some escape. It's like she can get into the human psyche and understand it. Even how she tortures, is it Vinny?
Johnny Beatty.
Johnny Beatty.
Johnny. Now she tortures him, and she's like, she doesn't even like punch him or anything. Well, she does later on, but initially she like just throws cold water on him and then says, oh, you may go into hypothermia. Like, it's like very smart and cerebral the way she approaches things.
Definitely. I think that with her doing time in Arkham taught her a lot of the psyche of how to get in someone's head.
Yes. And those are dangerous kinds.
I think so. That is dangerous because think like this: the Falcone family exiled her into Arkham because they clinically thought that she was insane, and then she comes out being 10 times smarter than what they thought she would be. Not only does she survive it, but she also uses all the psychological stuff and to be able to do everything that she's doing, and the manipulation behind it as well. So I think that plays it off to where she's a powerhouse, someone that you
Yeah.
do not want to mess with.
Yeah.
And that's something that I really loved about it. And then, I like also too how she goes, because look, I can do anything. I can get people to be on your side. I can help you become the boss that you deserve to be. And not only that, she's like this to him. She goes, so you know about my mom. You know about my mom. And everything. You
Yeah.
you helped got my dad kill her and hung her and then framed me for the job and everything. You didn't step in to help me then. Why are you gonna help me now? Because his ass is on the line and he doesn't want to die, so
Right.
therefore he's gonna do anything he can possible to save his own ass.
Mm-hmm.
He tried to get real melancholy with her for a second. I'm trying to
Mm-hmm.
give you a chance now. Your mother tried to run out, but if it weren't for you meddling kids, she could have escaped.
Mm-hmm.
Right, because he blamed the mother for going back to
Right.
her father. And the thing is, when you're in an abusive situation like that, you're going to go into familiar territories. You're not going to
Yeah.
be able to, because, yeah, you might have left, but whatever that you left is still in your head. So
Mm-hmm.
therefore, you're still held prison in your own head. So therefore, you're going to go back with something that you're familiar with.
Yeah.
And so that's why her mother went back, and that's what happened. So that's not the mother's fault or anything. It's the manipulation of the Falcone family and themselves.
Yeah.
What they did. So, I mean, then like I said, Johnny is over there just trying to save his own ass. He's like, look, I can get you people to be on your side. I can get you the money that you need and stuff like that. And I like how you mentioned that, Tamika, where she throws the cold water on him. Oh, fuck it, you're just being hypothermia at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Right.
Yeah.
so
And she takes her time too. Like she's laying on a coffin or whatever you would call that. And she's like just talking to him, and he's just like, you think he would just be like at a point of breaking and saying, all right, fine, I'll tell you. But like she takes her time with it. She's like, eventually you're going to break. So
right,
I'm just going to let you talk and just let you open up and then dig deeper in your psyche.
right. If you think about it, though, that scene is beautifully well written
Yeah.
as well. And it's also like I was mentioning to Pick the Flick in the backstage area. I'm like, this is the last remaining person of her family that she's
Mm.
talking to
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. That's it. There's no one else, and he's by himself. So I really have to say I love how he's trying to save himself, but at the same time, it's a little too late. You try to send her off to Paris. You try to exile her again, and stuff like that. You dug your own hole, and now you're trying to get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're going to move on to, while Oz's gang is worried about the death of the Falcones, Oz considers it an advantage as Sofia did the work for them. He then assigns Victor to take care of his mother, Frances, disappointing Victor as Oz arrives at a warehouse to meet with Nadia. He and his henchman, Mikey, try to kill Sal in prison after delivering Taj safely. But the thing that I loved about the whole entire kidnapping of Taj was the fact he's getting a tattoo done. And he's got his Beats headphone on like I do.
Over freaking TikTok.
So, and they're over there shooting. These people are supposed to be his security guys, and they're getting killed while he's getting a tattoo done. And broad daylight. And they take him, and then after that, you have that whole entire deal now where he's going to try. Now Oz is going to try and hold him for leverage over the Falcons, which is actually really smart because now that Sofia took care of the family, he can worry about the small fish first and then worry about Sofia later. So it works out in its favor.
Yeah, I think I'm just impressed with Oz, like knowing TikTok. But also it seems very easy for these younger criminals that they just post online and that even in real life the cops know because these younger criminals post on Facebook, look at all this money I got, I just robbed a bank, and they're like, all right. And he posting on TikTok like, yeah, I'll get my tattoo done at 123 Tattoo Shop in Jersey. Come, yeah, homie, yeah. And then it's like, okay, write that down. 1, 2, 3, tattoo. I mean, he's giving away everything in TikTok, and it used to be harder to find these people. But he's just like, yo, look at my ugly tattoo. It's an ugly tattoo, by the way.
That looks like a tattoo of Hawk from the Karate Kid.
I mean, I know that you like Ben
From
Affleck, but
Yeah.
Ben Affleck's tattoo was just as ugly as this one.
Well, I never seen this tattoo.
Oh, I have to look at it after
It's
this.
like, I'm calling you out, Ben. Now what? What?
Yeah,
Affleck. He has like this giant phoenix or something across his back.
Okay.
It like covers his whole back.
But
In your
that
face,
tattoo
Affleck.
was ugly. I would have killed him too, just because of the tattoo.
In your face, Affleck.
Yeah, if we were criminals, I would have took that phone and snatched it and threw it
You know what
somewhere. What are you doing on TikTok for?
Yeah.
You know what though? What I thought that was going to happen to him, I thought Oz was going to go ahead and skin him, take the tattoo off of his body, and then send it over to the Falcons.
Oh, John, you got dark.
Like, I'm sorry, I've seen
Get
too many
creative.
saw too many episodes of Sons of Anarchy that I thought that was
Yep,
going
that'll
to
do
wind
it.
up happening.
Ooh, you got dark real quick.
Then
That'll do
when
it.
Victor goes over to Oz's mom's house, I'm thinking that her head is going to be in the boiling pan. Because I thought
Oh dear.
so. I was like, because think about it like this: everything is disarrayed when Victor walks in there, right?
Yes.
You don't see Oz's mother anywhere. So the
No.
first initial thought was, "Oh shit, the Maronis must have whacked her," and that would actually cause Oz to be even more dangerous as well.
Mm-hmm.
And he's pissed off at them already, but to actually kill his mother, who he's attached to,
That's the last straw.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, though, I couldn't help but think that she was probably in the pot. I'm sorry, I thought her head was in that.
Yeah, for a second, you know how those dramas go. I thought her mental just went to a spiral and she couldn't do it anymore. She ended it all. That probably would have been the best case scenario for the Maronis, maybe.
Wow.
But
Y'all went somewhere I didn't. I just thought, she got robbed or something, and she put up a fight.
it was too quiet in there. TV loud.
Oh, can we talk about? Sorry, John. Can we talk?
No.
Can we talk about Oz and the genius of him putting the sun in gasoline?
Yeah, because
I thought it was water.
I did too. I really did. I thought he was doing some type of hypothermia though too, but then again, we didn't see how Oz was torturing him, so it gave us a little bit of a mystery element of what he did to him.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, what did they do to him? And then even the mother's like, what did they do to you? And you can tell that he's trying to tell her, don't hug me, don't get near me, or anything. You can tell the fear in his eyes, and then next thing you know it, Oz winds up lighting them up and burning them alive. And even what's that?
Oh, go ahead.
But remember what even when Maroni winds up telling them, "Hey, look, do not go by yourself. You cannot trust Oz at all." But I like how she does have a couple of men to actually help them. But it's like 3 guards. You need more than that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, anyways, he winds up taking down. Oz winds up taking them all down. And of course, they also have his shrooms that he's been wanting. So they wind up trying to do a trade-off between the sun and also between the shrooms. And so they do a trade-off, but the guy gets in the car before the sun could even he winds up going all the way over to where, he winds up going all the way up to where his mother is, and then she winds up hugging him.
No, I was going to ask, do you think he would have set them on fire sooner? Because it seems like the son was going to the mom and then they were talking like you said, but I thought he was just going to let them go and get in the truck and take the shrooms. And then I was thinking, well, they shot at him, so of course he's going to light them on fire.
Yeah, he's got an automatic Uzi, but I don't think that he would let them go. Because it's too much collateral already.
With the timing of them coming out, he had the gun ready. So even if they didn't, he probably was going to shoot them when they were straight.
That makes sense. Yeah.
He had the intent of actually killing them. And then, of course, the shrooms get destroyed anyways. All about 2 buckets. And you can't build an empire on 2 buckets of shrooms. Go buckets.
Let me show you
Yeah,
something.
it was probably some scientific thing where they were left out because I think those buckets were concealed, so the atmosphere was moist, and the
Right.
other ones were kind of just left out in the air, and they dried out and turned to dust
You
or
know what else
powder,
I'm thinking
whatever
though
strange
too?
punch.
Well, you know what else I was thinking too? I don't think that so. No, I don't think that the Maronis knew what they had. All they knew
Mm,
that was that they had shrooms, and they didn't know exactly. Because if you knew that you had $1 billion idea, even though they followed Oz, the warehouse, and stuff like that, they don't have any idea of what the drugs are, right? The way that they had it laid out in the truck
hmm
and everything, those things were going to die regardless of the fact if the fire alarm was going to go off or not and stuff. So therefore, those were already look like they were dead to me
mm-hmm.
because they need to be in moisture. They need to be in a wet area, and the way they they look like they were already dead to me.
Mm.
I don't know if you guys paid attention to it or not, but after the second watch, I looked at it. They were white and kind of crinkly a little bit.
Mm.
Mm.
So they were already kind of destroyed already.
Mm.
So I don't think that they knew what they had to begin with.
I didn't
But
pay
yeah,
attention that closely, but yeah, that
I was paying
sucked.
attention to when he was pulling that gun out.
Yeah,
I said,
I
"Oh
was
yeah,
distracted.
you were gonna kill him regardless." Okay,
right.
And then he watched them burn. It was like, yes, burn
all
quickly.
Burn,
right, Sweeney
baby.
Todd.
All I could think of is Danny DeVito and as the penguin. Burn, baby, burn.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
But and then you have Sal that calls him up. He goes, "What? You didn't think?" Well, first, he Sal winds up picking up one of the people that work for Oz, and he winds up saying, "So how did it go?" Because he was supposed to get whacked in prison, and I like how it just cuts over to Oz before that, and he goes, "Well, you tell me, how do you think it went?" He goes, "Joey's not alive. He's dead. He's not alive anymore."
Mm.
And he goes,
Mm.
"You're gonna burn for this, Oz." He goes, it's a funny thing about burning,
Right, you are cooked, Mr. Krabs says. You are cooked.
Mm-mm.
Well, speaking
Mm-mm.
of cooked,
right? Because he winds up saying, "Well, speaking of being burnt, I just watched your son and wife die."
Mm.
right? He said, "Call her and see if she picks up the phone." You
Yeah,
must
he
be the
Mm.
says,
wrong
"Call her and
one.
see if she picks up the phone."
Click. I
Cold
said,
blooded.
genius.
But
Man.
then after that winds up happening, we have, and then he discovers it. Then who survived? He killed Mikey. That's right. He killed Mikey. Sal
Mm.
killed Mikey and escaped from Blackgate. He threatens Oz's life and in return teases that he should call his wife. Oz gets Victor to take Frances into hiding, and Victor takes her to an old apartment in Crown Point, a neighborhood where Victor grew up and that heavily damaged by the floods.
Mm.
After being tortured, Vidi explains that Sofia's mother, Isabella Giannotti, was planning to leave Carmine Falcone, but could not due to her having her own children, eventually agreeing to support her desire to be the new head of the family. Dr. Rush later visits Sofia, revealing that he knows she was involved in the gas leak, but nevertheless supports the decision and is willing to stay with her. So I thought that was interesting how you actually have now the doctor involved in this as well. Because, you were right about me, but it wasn't about the control issue. It was because of the fact that I want to be with you.
Mm.
But I love the whole all the men at the table as she's walking in the door. And she has her mother's jacket on her fur coat, goes up to her, goes up to everybody, and in order for her to be taken seriously, she has to do something drastic to be feared. Not only by be feared, but also to be loved at the same time.
Mm.
And so it goes back to a Bronx Tale. Would you rather be loved or would you rather be feared?
Mm.
So anyways, she has all the pile of money from her dad on the table as well. But Johnny winds up saying, "Look, they understand what's going on here. Okay, they don't need any more instructions. We already know what the big problem is, and everything." Next thing you know, she takes out the gun and shoots him in the head.
Yeah, she first admitted, like, yeah, I killed my family. And then everybody's like, oh my. But yeah, I thought that I think she was gonna kill him eventually, but I didn't know it was gonna be that soon. But it is good that she waited so she could know where the money was, like all the locations first. She got what she needed from him, because I think he was gonna rat her out anyway and turn on her. But maybe she gave like that leverage of I killed them.
Right, but think of it like this: you took out the last remaining person of the Falcons. So therefore, now she has her own family that she can have. But what better way to do it than have the men that he knows that can do the job that she wants them to do, and already have the men lined up for her. So therefore, she doesn't have to do anything because now the legwork is done. So she doesn't need him for that. Then she's got the money from him because she needed it because she needed to pay them with her father's money that the father withheld from them. So therefore, she used him as a pawn, and then after that, she sacrificed him and killed him because now he's no longer needed. He's no longer needed.
Yeah.
So I thought that was perfect. But what did you think about Victor bringing Oz's mom into that hiding spot in that area? She's like, I don't like this place. It reminds me of the time from a place that I grew up in. And so at that point, he winds up telling Oz where they're at. Oz comes in that same night, and I love the relationship between Oz and his mom, because all Oz wants to do is just be loved by his mom, who's a narcissistic woman.
Right.
And even whenever she said, "Wait, Oz did this," and I love how Victor is like trying to show that he's showing victory over Oz and trying to say, "Yeah, he did this, he did that, he killed the Falcons," and wow, okay. And then she still doesn't quite believe him. And then she's like, "He didn't really do that, did he?" He goes, "Nah, he didn't." Then he comes in, and she's ashamed of her own son, and all he wants is the attention and the love and affection of his own mother. And that's what I got out of that, especially whenever the mother's like, "Get away from me, you're a failure, da 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 da."
Yeah.
But any thoughts on that?
Yeah, that was quite a moment between Oz and his mom. On the one hand, I do love the chemistry that's building between her and Vic. Just it's such a sweet kid, taking care of her. And I like how she kind of plays it off like her dementia is just kind of misremembering him for Oz. She's like, "I know who you are. Tell my son to visit more. He sends me strangers." I just love that moment between those two. But it's like, man, this mom's cold.
She's definitely cold and brutal. That woman has a heart of stone, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I thought Oz had a very Freudian relationship with his mom because they were in bed together. And I was like, okay. I don't know.
I was a little too close.
Maybe that's what sons do. I don't know.
No.
Maybe
no Stephen King thing.
I mean, he was like the big spoon and she was a little spoon. And I was like, oh, what's going on here? Okay. And I know what was happening. And then he's constantly trying to get her validation, because I could tell she, like I said, she is a narc. But she's used to a certain lifestyle. Like her lifestyle now ain't that great, but when she got, like I said, Vic's apartment, she was like, ugh, this reminds me of when I was poorer.
The East Side.
Poor people. You don't got no lights. Ugh, my God.
We have money over here.
It's cold in here. Oh my God, I can hear the train.
What's this cobwebs, Victor?
You want me to live in this dump? But what I really was screaming at the TV about was he was like, "Oh, hurry up before the drug dealer see you." And she was like, "Who? This guy?" I was like, "Get your ass in the apartment."
And she kept on messing with her. She was like, "Oh,
What?
what did they do to you?
Hell?
You better be go ahead and get a lecture. Let me show you something, kid. You don't
And
let
he was
that drug dealer
right
touch you."
in the doorway. He's like, "Go, go." She's like, "Huh? Him? You scared of this guy? This guy?" She's like, "Hurry up before he take you out." And I
It's
was
like,
like,
I definitely would
I
have
may
forced her
not
to
love
talk
my
to
son
him.
the way I love my son, but this
I
guy's
would
nothing
have
compared to
like,
how my son is.
I would have like punched her in the face and then drug her in there. I mean, I'm
These
like,
drug
"Come
dealers scare you?
come
You a
on,
wuss.
my God!" And then he saw him, and I'm thinking, so what is that drug dealer gonna do now that he saw Vic? And I'm like, oh,
Try to
because
kill
the
her, maybe.
mom asking questions. You want me to do what? Why you whispering? Shut up. This guy? Oh my God.
But
Terrible.
that neighborhood was really dangerous to the point where I'll be like, look, I don't even want to be in this neighborhood either. But
Now,
I'm
let me back
sure
in the
the hell
car.
don't want to be noticed by this other guy that's
I
supposedly
want to go home.
really dangerous in this neighborhood.
It remind me of have y'all seen Ready Player One?
Yeah.
That's what that neighborhood reminded me of. Like just trash piled up real high, like a junkyard.
Yeah, it definitely does remind me of that. Kind of like an apocalyptic kind of.
Yeah, that's what it looked
Like
like.
2012.
Yeah,
Right. It looked like The Walking Dead over there, to be
it
honest.
did. With the drug dealers.
But now she has a taste of where Victor comes from, though, too, and realizing where he grew up in, the streets he walked in. I like the line that she says, "Yeah, you can lose your life to the streets of Gotham."
Mm.
And I mentioned that though too. Remember that though, Pick a Flick, where I said, just as Vic lost his self to the streets, he also lost his parents' souls to Gotham
Mm.
as well. So it's kind of poetic in a sense on that kind of scale with the writing as well. Um, then after that, we actually have a nice thing with Sofia, and also too with with Maroney as well. And what I like about that is the fact that she finds out where he's staying at the safe house that he's at. She shoots the two
Right.
bodyguards,
She murked all of them.
and she's like, "Look, I'm not here. I'm here to end this war between our families."
Put me
And
first.
he was going to get ready to talk shit about the Falcone. She goes, "I'm not a Falcone." And she tells him the new name, which is her mother's maiden name, of Gianni. Gigante.
Gigante.
Is it Gigante?
Yeah,
Something like
Gigante.
that. Something.
And he's like, we have a common enemy. Let's take down Oz.
That's right.
And let's do this together. And even the place that he's staying at is a dump, because he's using the security guards place as a way to hide out. And
Vic's place.
You can't hide out at the Krusty
at
Krab.
least it
Come
had
on.
lights. It had lights,
Yeah, it had lights and a table.
right? But my favorite line
And a
that
kitchen.
Sophia says to this is my favorite line that to me that Sophia says to him though, right? Where he winds up saying, "So you like wood, huh?"
Oh my God.
But I definitely love the back and forth between them, because now they have to depend on each other. Two families that never got along before, and for them to join alliances, now he can become from that small fish over to that big fish again. But is he going to backstab her is also another thing.
Or is she going to backstab him?
Because right now, think of it like this: you have a common enemy, which is Oz. What happens after they try to get rid of him? If they get rid of him, you know, where does that leave them after that? This is just a business transaction in a sense.
Yeah, she was talking about merging their families together, and she liked how their family interacted with each other over hers, but I wouldn't trust her. Even
yeah,
even though I like her, I wouldn't trust her.
no, but
Yeah.
Sal is kind of reasonable in a sense at the same time, but
Yeah.
not very trusting either.
Yeah.
He's got his guard up.
Yeah, he was called sentimental by her father.
Let's see. Francis. Okay. So we're now planning to kill Oz and to take over the city. Oz arrives at Victor's apartment and tries to console Francis, but she turns him down. He thanks Victor for his actions and opens up about the death of his siblings, finding an old trolley token in the house. Oz gets Victor to accompany him to the abandoned underground trolley station he visited in his childhood. Oz turns on the lights and decides to use the station as a base for his mushroom operation.
Mhm.
But what I like about the whole thing with Victor and Francis is like this. He's like, come on, we gotta get out of here. We gotta get out. And she's like, you're broke. That's basically what she's saying. She's like, dude, you're
Yeah.
broke.
The mom
Holler
was,
at
was pissing me
me
off.
when you get. And I like how she cuddles him a little bit as he's on the table. And I love how Colin Farrell's expressions are, right? You can tell he's pissed off. Like, I love the flare in his eyes at that moment because the camera angle, the way the camera's focused on his eyes, I'm like, this dude is pissed. But she goes on ahead and cuddles him, and she goes, look, you'll be back on top, baby. It'll be okay. I promise. You know? But right now, I have some thinking to do. I'm thinking that you're poor right now, but
Right.
you'll be on top again with your two
His
buckets of
Sopranos
sugar.
like outburst was funny though when he just started throwing stuff on the ground. After everything I did for you,
After
how
anything
this-
I did for you.
I was like, oh wow.
Man,
He's
he
desperate, y'all.
Colin was watching way too much Sopranos.
But I have a question. Is it just me, or did Colin's fat suit make him look like he lost some weight? Because when you look at the last couple of episodes, he's kind of big. This one, he kind of seems kind of slim. Like,
Yeah,
he
I
took
think he
a
started
Ozempic.
forgetting about it or made it smaller at least.
Yeah, I think he like cussed them out so much, and they're like, "Okay, we'll take some off."
Yeah, we'll take some off the top.
Yeah,
I got another project to do. I can't.
yeah, hopefully he be like I told John. Hopefully he'll be back for season 2 because he was complaining that he hated that fat suit and he doesn't want to wear it ever again.
I love him in the fat suit and everything too. But
Yeah,
Colin's
be
handsome.
like Tom Cruise. Just do it for our pleasure. Your pain
He
is
said
our
no.
Jeez,
He's gonna be ripped into Batman too.
stop bitching and be like Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise
He
break
ain't
his
Tom Cruise,
ankle.
though.
Tom
But
I'm not
Cruise
getting Tom Cruise money.
Tom Cruise break his ankle and he's still doing Mission Impossible films for our
But-
pleasure.
Colin is hands down my favorite actor in this series, and
He's a
also
great
too, he's one of my favorite actors,
He's a
hands
great
down. The cosmetics behind the makeup and stuff like that, and how he loses himself in that character. That's not Colin anymore. That's a total different person.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing like a New York accent mixed in with a New Jersey accent, and it works.
Yeah.
And also too, the actress who's playing Sofia has this thing too that I really like with her accent, the way she's doing things and stuff like that. I really loved it. And as a matter of fact, she played in Wolf of Wall Street. She played Leonardo DiCaprio's first wife in Wolf of Wall Street
Oh.
before he got up with Barbie, Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie with Barbie. That's crazy.
Yeah. AKA Harley Quinn.
Right.
Right.
But what did you
Not
guys
Lady
think of the
Gaga.
fact? Oh, going ahead. Sorry, Pig.
Mhm.
I was saying before Lady Gaga. I can't.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The real Harley Quinn. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
But not Joker for doo-doo. But anyways, that's just as bad as the movie. My little quote is just as bad as the movie is. Okay, so anyways, we're gonna move on. But my question is this: how did you guys like the subway scene? Because I love seeing abandoned subways and stuff like that, and the trolleys and stuff. And it gives you more context into Oz and how he's gonna do this underground operation. Because now he doesn't have to go up above.
Mhm.
He can go on ahead and just operate from underneath underneath Gotham and stuff, and let his workers do his stuff while he's operating underneath Gotham, which I think is smart.
Mhm.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, man, the underground scene between Oz and Vic was very cool to see. I mean, just the whole visual of it. And Oz starting to scheme more like, oh, this place is calling my name. And they're having a nice little bonding moment after all of what Oz went through in this episode,
Mhm.
which brought him to stuff, obviously. But, clearly he has this vision, and thankfully, with the main character syndrome he's got a convenient place for him to put some mushrooms at it. Hopefully, if he lays low, it can work out for him.
Yeah, it just reminded me of Penguin and Batman Returns. Just his whole thing was underground too. I think it's really smart to go underground, and that he knows that these tunnels used to be active, and then the city abandoned it, and um, it's like a lot of room in there. And like I said, the soil is moist, etc. And I don't know why I get a Stranger Things vibe from even. We keep waiting for a monster to pop out like roar.
Demogorgons.
Yeah, I keep waiting for them to pop out, and I'm like, oh my god! But if he get like a great generator, then he's set because that generator
Yeah,
is kind of plucked out.
Busted.
but yeah, I think it's actually a perfect place, a perfect layer to be able to do this in and stuff like that. And not only that, but you don't have Sophia that won't even think about looking there, and Francis
We'll
too.
find
And
out eventually.
well, even with even with Maroney, I feel like that he won't even know either
Well, his
as well.
mom will rat him out. I don't trust his mom.
Yeah, his mom has Alzheimer's, so she might
That boy right
accidentally
there, that Charlie, that's his. You
Yeah,
go and talk to him over there.
Charlie 1, 2, 3, 4.
yeah. I would tell Vic, don't trust my mom. Don't tell her nothing about this place.
If you do, that's it.
Yeah,
Mm,
that's it.
Cause she'll sell him out for money. She that type of mom.
But
Right.
I know that we didn't talk on Dr. Julian for a minute, but
Mhm.
what did you guys think about Julian showing up as well? I know that I talked about it a little bit, but I wanted to know your thoughts on it, of him playing a bigger role in this now.
Well, he wants some of that Sophia love. I think that's
Mm,
just plain and simple. You know. But to see him open to helping her out in any way he can, I'm still holding on to that villain theory I've heard about early on in the show. I'm
mm.
waiting for that twist. It's probably not going to happen, though. I fear it. But I really want to see where his character can go. Seeing that Sophia is starting to kind of build up a bit of rapport with him after, even he was a bit trying to play like, you're crazy in this asylum. They were able to work it out. Maybe, they'll have something happen. Maybe he'll survive. I'm not sure, though. I wouldn't trust her completely. Just like
Mhm.
Tamika said earlier with Sal, I
Mhm.
wouldn't trust Sophia 100%.
Mm-mm.
But
No.
hey,
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
doctor, you got it, man.
Mm-mm. Yeah, I think he has an infatuation with her, and also it seems like he kind of wants an escape. Like perhaps his whole life has been structured and all this other stuff, and he's bound up tight, and he wants to be free and explore this world of like danger. I think that's attracting him. Like I don't think he like maybe there's a part of him that cares about Sophia, but mostly I think it's infatuation and then just an escape.
Mhm.
Just the unknown of not knowing who she is or anything like that either. Like you
Yeah,
said,
because
unknown danger.
he has broken so many of his own codes
Yeah, like climbing on top of
professionally.
her while she's sleeping and having a flashback.
Yeah, professionally, he broke codes. She got his number. She called him after hours. Please come help me. I'm
Right.
drunk. Stuff like that.
But but I like Theo Rossi as a
Yeah.
doctor. I think it's very different than what I've seen him in with Sons of Anarchy. I love him as an actor. He also played Shades in Luke Cage as well. He played in that role as well as like a
Yeah.
villainous role. So that see him as a psychiatrist. It's definitely different, and it's good kind of different that I can't wait to see what they're gonna do with him.
Hmm.
But you know, that's gonna be it though. I mean, is there any other final thoughts, any predictions, or anything like that?
I got a prediction for you.
What's that?
Since you want to get dark, John, I'm thinking that Sophia and Sal, to get the Oz, they're gonna have to take out somebody that he truly, truly loves
Mm-hmm.
to get to that breaking point. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking maybe his mom is gonna get it
Mm-hmm.
because I'm
Because this
not
is
really
only
sure
week.
where his right. I'm not sure where his relationship standing with Vic is. He could be playing a father figure like facade, but when Vic is gone, he might be like, oh boo hoo, but behind the exterior, man, I'm glad he's gone. I still got my mama.
But I don't
You
think.
never know with
Mhm.
Oz.
True. But over for you, Tamika.
Um, Vic will probably go. Sadly, he'll probably go, and then that's gonna take Oz on a tailspin, and then he's gonna. I think they all gonna kill each other.
Yeah.
But then that'll probably be like season like 2 or 3 or something. It can't be
Where the
season.
mom is still standing. She
Yeah,
survives it all.
Now she's the
yeah,
leader of the mushroom.
yeah, yeah. And then she pick up the fur coat and then say, "Dig out some more of them mushrooms."
Right. If it ain't Batman coming, the mom's gonna be like,
Right.
I
Yeah.
survived.
But that's another thing, though, too. Like, some people are like, well, where's Batman at in all this, right? My thing is this. If you remember what happened with the ending of Batman, right? Of the Bat, he
Mhm.
got a shotgun blasted to his chest.
Yeah.
He's still recuperating from the stuff that's happened to him in the Batman. So it's only been a couple of weeks since the Batman, from those events happened.
He's
So,
Batman
yeah, he's he's actually just laying around right now and stuff and just recuperating. And when all
Yeah.
this stuff build up.
Also, he's still young.
Hmm.
Like there are people
though.
thinking about like Batman Begins, like the season Batman. This is like a young Batman, so he's still
It's like a year
figuring
working.
out the underground uh criminal underground, and then who's connected to who. Like he's still green. So I mean, of course everybody can do all this stuff, but
This
Let's
probably
see.
still hurt beating up that Riddler goon.
yeah.
But I know that I ended up doing the whole entire prediction of the fact that I think it's Scarecrow behind the whole entire drug and stuff like that of the hallucinations, not the shrooms or anything like that, but I think
Oh,
behind the
okay.
hallucinates that we had in the first couple episodes
Mm.
and stuff. But I think that Julian is actually going to be the Scarecrow.
See,
That's
there it
that's my
goes.
prediction.
I
Oh,
mentioned it early on with the villain theory. I'm holding on
Yep,
still. Please
I'm
be the
still holding on to
scarecrow.
that theory.
Shades
Um,
the Scarecrow. Interesting.
Juice and Scarecrow, which is also Shades. But yeah,
Yeah, put some shades on him.
Yes.
Why he's a
um,
scarecrow?
I'm trying to think of if there's like any other predictions that I want to go off of though too. But I like what Pick a Flick said was the only weak person that he'll go after, that Oz will go after. If you think about it like this, if you want to attack him, if you want to attack Oz, you're gonna have to go ahead and take away his mother.
That's right.
Vic
Yeah.
is just a small fry compared to his mother.
Yeah, he's second. Like I think the mom will cut him deeply. Vid will cut him deeper. Like I said, yeah. What y'all said, the
But
mom will be deeper. Yeah.
I'm still holding on to the prediction that Vic will last till episode 7.
Hopefully, it's more
Mm,
likely that the mom is going to survive all this and she starts her own empire because she's got
yeah.
gangster
That
tendencies.
would be,
Yeah.
Oz got it from somewhere.
you know what though? That's actually an interesting way of actually ending the season finale, killing off the
Yeah,
mother.
that would have
Good.
hurt a bit.
Good.
Because,
She need to go. She's terrible.
and I hate to compare The Sopranos to The Penguin or whatever, but even on season 1 of The Sopranos, Tony tried smothering his own mother at the end of season 1. So maybe they're
First
gonna do it
season.
right. So I'm wondering if they're gonna try to end it off with some kind of way like that, where you actually have Sophia and also the Maronis killing him off, killing off the mother.
This basically
Right.
is the Soprano, but DC version.
Yep, and
Right.
it works.
DC
I love it.
Sopranos. I
Yeah,
like it.
DC Sopranos with
But
complaining Colin Farrell.
but yeah, that's gonna be it as far as this show goes. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Central Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Time, I'll have indie actress Marilyn Knapp with me. We're going to be reviewing Stir Up Echoes at 8 o'clock Central Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Then Friday, I don't have any shows lined up for Friday or anything, but Monday I will be back again, and we're going to be talking about our top 5 opening scenes in a movie. I have Jay Brooke joining me for that one for like a little episode. Then after that, we'll have to just wait and see what else I have cooking. But yeah, go ahead, smash that like button, smash the subscribe button. Go ahead, visit the Pick a Flick podcast over there as well. Rossi will be back with me next Wednesday to do the Penguin review.
Nice.
She got held up at work and stuff, so just give a big shout out to Rossi and stuff like that on her podcast at Rossi's Clubhouse. She has a couple of interviews lined up for Sunday and also one for Monday as well. So go ahead and follow her there. Also, too, check out our Unfiltered Studios family as well. So visit the Sleepy G Show, the Hypno Wilderness, and the Stupid History Minute. And also, too, go ahead, check them out. And always until next time, guys, have a great and safe night. I'll catch you guys on the next one.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Later. That's what I do. I fix things.